Ah, that red squig will give you wog, all right. That's right, I am indeed old Big Mek. This is the Red Ones Go Fast, and in this video, we are breaking down the full value on the new Christmas Battleforce for the Orks, the Snagga Stampede. So for those of you that have been living under a rock, this is the Snagga Stampede. Games Workshop has been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. This is the Christmas Battleforce box for the Orks. It consists of Mazrog Scragbad and or Beast Boss on Squigosaur, that'd be that beautiful guy right there, a Knob on Smash-a-Squig and a squad of Squig Hog Boys, 10 Beast Snaggas, a Pain Boss, and a Kill Rig. You get all of those units, all 6 units, for $230 US. Now, this Battleforce is one of the unique ones in that there's actually a couple of options. As I said, Mazrog Scragbag also builds as the generic Beast Boss on Squigosaur. So there's 2 different ways to build him. The Kill Rig also has an option. You can either build it as the Hunter Rig with a separate Werboy on foot, or as the Kill Rig with the Werboy mounted up in it. So a little bit of points differences depending on how you build things, but generally you're looking at between 660 to 730 points all in this box. Now, that's giving you extremely good value for money and extremely good value for points. If you were to buy these 6 units, it would come in 5 boxes because, again, the Knob on Smash-a-Squig and the Squig Hog Boys are all in one box for 65 bucks, which is like one of the best deals Games Workshop has. I did a whole video on that. But anyways, if you were to buy these 6 units or the 5 boxes, you're looking at $365 retail from Games Workshop. So for 230 bucks, you're saving $135 or basically getting the Kill Rig for free, which is a massive bargain. This is probably the best box of the whole Christmas bit. And I'm not just saying that as an Ork guy. I really mean it from a dollar perspective and from a points perspective. Now, lots of channels have told you all of this information, including myself. This isn't anything new. What I'm going to do now is a little bit of a deeper dive to let you know whether or not this really is a box you should be buying. Now, I'm going to look at it for a couple of ways. One is going to be as somebody that doesn't play Orks at all, that's looking to dip their toes in. And the other is as an Ork player that already has a good size army. Now, I'm going to start with the new players. If you're thinking about getting into Orks, if you like the Beast Snagga aesthetic, absolutely get this box. In fact, get 2 of these boxes. This is one of the few boxes that absolutely doubles up extremely well. You build one box at the 730 points with Mazrog. You build the next box at 700 points. That's the Beast Boss on Squigosaur, but you still keep the Kill Rig as a Kill Rig. And, you're looking at 1,430 points right out the gate with 2 boxes. You're at less than 500 bucks. That is an amazingly good deal. All of the units work extremely well with each other. The synergy in this box is amazing, and they're all extremely good units in 10th edition Warhammer. Now, for Ork players that already exist, if you're like old Big Mek here, the only Beast Snagga thing you might have is probably this right here, the old Beast Snagga army set. This thing popped out, I want to say, at the beginning of 9th. Right? I think it was the beginning of 9th, and it had our codex in it. It was real popular. It kind of sold out for a while. They've trickled back in. You can actually find these boxes for right around the retail that they were, if not a little less, because there's nothing special about them anymore. Obviously, the codex is way out of date. The data cards are out of date. You could buy all of these units. Again, they sell the Knob on Smash-a-Squig and the Squig Hog Boys all together for 65 bucks. So there's not a whole lot of value in this kit as this kit pertains. But if you already own this kit actually goes really, really, really well with the new Snagga Stampede box. The reason being there is 400 points in that box. So you buy the Snagga Stampede box, 730 points. You combine it with the Snagga Army at 300 points. You're looking at 1,130 points. And again, everything works together. You can absolutely use 3 units of Snagga Boys. And remember, you can actually build them as units of 20. So really, you can end up with a unit of 10 and a unit of 20 with no problems at all. It gives you 2 units of the Squig Hog Boys, which are probably the hardest hitting unit for anti-tank in the game right now, along with that Knob on Smash-a-Squig. It just works really, really well. Same thing also for you Ork players. If you don't have a lot of Snagga stuff yet, getting a second one of these battle forces is huge. In fact, if you combined two battle forces, just like the new player and the Beast Snagga army together, you'd be looking at 1,830 points out of the 3 boxes combined, which is just mind-blowingly good. And there's another way you can take it up from there. And that would be if you wanted to get to 1,000 points with just the box and then buying a couple of units. This is one of the easiest boxes to get to 1,000 points on. Basically, you buy, again, the excellent Squig Hog Boys box that has the Squig Hog Boys and Knob on Smash a Squig and a regular Beast Boss on foot. That would be $105 for those two, straight retail. Plenty of ways to get them for cheaper. In fact, I have links down in the description below if you would like to save some money on those and all these other Beast Snagga kits. But basically, you got your $230 box, $105 for these Squig Hog Boys with the Smash a Squig knob and the Beast Boss, and you're looking at 1,000 points on the dot of super competitive Orks. And that brings me to my conclusion, and that is the old Big Mek score. I'm going to look at 5 different areas of each box and give a rating between 1 and 5 Dakkas, and then an overall on whether or not you should get this box. So let's get into it. The first category is value for money. And again, like I've stressed on this box a couple of videos now, saving $135 on these units is a fantastic bargain, because these are units that are in demand both in the game, like meta-wise, and just for players, period, because they're so cool looking and big. They're the newer units. The value here on the box, money-wise, is fantastic. 5 out of 5 Dakkas for that. Next is value for points. Now, Orks tend to be pretty good on points as far as we're a little bit of a horde army, so you end up having kind of lower levels of points for things, but the inclusion of the kill rig definitely helps bump the points up in this box without just being hyperinflationary. It's definitely worth the points. So the value for points is definitely there. Even all the way at the low end of the box at the 660 points, it's still an excellent value. I'm going to give that 4 out of 5 Dakkas. Next is value on strength. Now, this is the one time I'm going to talk about how the army plays and what the meta is and things like that. Beast Snagga Orks are fantastic right now. All of the strong Ork lists basically use at least some of them because they are the hardest hitting thing in the whole army for anti-tank. They're also one of the hardest hitting units at just overall in 40k. So your value on strength here right now in 10th edition is really, really high. Now, that being said, there's going to be an asterisk on this because Games Workshop is about to do another balanced data slate. Orks got over the magic 55% win rate with 56%. At least one major event has been won overall by Orks. So there's likely to be a little bit of adjustments. Probably it's not going to be too big of a deal. It's going to be maybe some points raises and things like that. I don't think they're actually going to change how any of it works. It's just going to get more expensive points wise, which is totally fine because this box has so many options on changing units out. The value is just going to be there even after the data slate comes out. So 5 out of 5 Dakkas for actual playing strength. All right, the next category is options. Now, options includes all the things. How quick it is to get it up to 1,000 points and how much money you spend on doing that, how well it works getting more than one of these boxes, and how well it works with other boxes that are already out there in the wild that match up with it. And this one's clear. 5 out of 5 Dakkas. Getting 2 of these boxes is a no-brainer. Heck, if you don't have any Beast Snagga units, get 3 of these boxes. It's still a no-brainer. It's just such a fantastic deal. And then again, the options inside the box itself with being able to do Kill Rig or Hunter Rig, Beast Boss on Squigosaur or Mazarog Scragbad, being able to take that Warboy off and run him by himself if you're running a Hunter Rig. Like, you have so many options with it that it just flat out works. So 5 out of 5 Dakkas. Now, this last category is something that this box actually fails hard on, though, unfortunately, and that is the synergy with the existing combat patrol. Most players at this point own the combat patrol for their army, or if they're looking to start an army, want to pair the battle force with the combat patrol. This is one area where it makes no sense at all. Orks do not have a Beast Snagga combat patrol. Our combat patrol consists of the War Boss and Mega Armor, your regular Ork boys, the Def Copters, and the Def Dread. None of those units work with the Beast Snaggas, meaning the War Boss can't lead any Beast Snagga boys. Hell, he can't even lead the boys that come in the box because he's in mega armor and they aren't. Conversely, the Beast Bosses can't lead the actual Orks. So you've got all of these units running around that can't actually be led or lead one another, providing no synergy whatsoever. There's also just the way the armies work. Everything that comes in the combat patrol box is kind of designed to work as a hammer and anvil way, right? You've got a block of shooting and a block of close combat, and you want to smush the enemy in between them. The Beast Snaggas work completely different. You want to just absolutely get in there as fast as humanly possible. It runs more like a Speed Freaks army. So, and there's not a whole lot of speed in the other army besides or in the combat patrol besides the Def Copters, and they've had their teeth yanked so much that they really aren't very good. So the synergy with the combat patrol is a 1 out of 5 Dakkas. There is no synergy there whatsoever. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean you can't buy both and still use both. Absolutely, especially if you're looking to collect, or you're more of a casual player, or you're somebody like me that kind of builds and paints everything and leaves it on a shelf and never really plays the game. It doesn't matter, right? Buy whatever you want, buy what makes you happy. Just know going in that your combat patrol and this battle force, your aesthetics aren't going to be the same, your synergies aren't going to be the same. It's going to feel like you have two different armies, because really, in reality, you kind of have two different armies. The Beast Snaggas have definitely kind of become their own thing within the Orks. It's almost like having regular Space Marines and Blood Angels, right? Or something like that, where it's just so completely different, they might as well be their own thing. And in fact, know that Orks are one of the next codexes. So next year, we're getting Necrons and Adeptus Mechanicus are up next this year, and then next year you've got Dark Angels followed by Orks. So we're one of the codexes coming up, and being that we saw Adeptus Mechanicus get a second combat patrol and still keep the first one, I could definitely see Orks getting that and us getting a Beast Snagga combat patrol. But you're looking at 4 to 6 months away, and who knows if that combat patrol is necessarily going to work with this box or not. If they make a Beast Snagga one, I'm going to assume it is going to work with it, because all the Beast Snagga stuff works with each other right now, because there's so few of it, really. Not a bad future-proof choice. But as far as right now, again, that synergy just isn't there. So that brings me to our overall. This set, the Snagga Stampede, 4.5 Dakkas out of 5. Absolutely must buy if you have any interest whatsoever in Beast Snaggas. If you are an Ork player, you definitely should be getting this box. I really want this box. Hell, I really want 2 of these boxes. I don't have a lot of teeth right now. I'm asking to Red Gobbo very nicely. Hopefully I can get my hands on one of these, because it would just work so nicely with my Beast Snagga army box that I already have, which I haven't really built any of these yet. The only Beast Snagga thing I've built and painted is a Beast Boss on foot that I converted from the Warhammer Plus Mini 3 years ago. Getting this box would definitely excite me to start that new army, or new, arm of my army, right? And do Beast Snagga Orks up properly. It's a really exciting set. Old Big Mek absolutely approves of this one. You should definitely go out there and add it to your army. And that brings us to the end of this particular video, and I hope that you will consider joining me in some of the others. If you are a big Ork player, you might have noticed that I did Orktober with a new video every single day, all Orktober long. We had some fantastic ones in there. You should definitely go check out that playlist. If you're not a big Ork player, you should still check, stay around anyway, because we do lots of content on everything else. In fact, I will be doing one of these deep dive videos on every single one of the battle forces over the next few days, so expect the same amount of deep dive. I also build and collect other armies. I have a full Astra Militarum force, including old school metal Valhallans, an all Primaris Space Marine force, Black Templars, as well as old school Craft World Eldar. You'll also, if you've ever been on this channel, know that I've got some Grots, and those Grots all build and play Warhammer 40,000 as well, and they have their own armies. I got one with Tau, I got one with Ultramarines, I got one building Sisters of Battle, so there are just about every army out there here in the house You'll see them on videos. You'll see me talk about them. So if you're into the Warhammer 40,000 universe at all, you should definitely stick around. If you liked what you saw, I'd really appreciate any kind of help you can give old Big Mek here with a like, a dislike, a subscribe, a comment down below, checking out any of the other videos, or checking out our merch. You could see our merch on the links below. The Red Squig Gives You Wog is my own original design. You can get that on a t-shirt or a sticker, and I've got all of those options down there. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this video, and until next time, Wog on! Take a big squig.